Let me share my screen and I'll take you through the shop inventory guidelines which I have. So the key inventory process which we have here is this physical counting, which we did discuss in the first day in the overall process flow from the US side. So this is the main program, KK Physical Inventory Snapshot and Generate Tags for all shops. This is scheduled every Saturday at 2 a.m. And what it would do is this concurrent request would generate the physical inventory name for all the stores. And with the naming convention store code plus the week ending date. For example, if it is run on Saturday 2 p.m., it would have the week ending date as on this week and the upcoming Sunday. It would take snapshot of the on-hand balances and the last week usage. So if you go into the KK Physical Inventory shop responsibility, you can see that the physical inventory got created with this particular naming convention, which is the store code, week ending, and the upcoming Sunday. And to just give you an overall to go through this again, what the shop manager would do is he will click on this print tag listing and it would generate an empty report with all the items. And what he would do is he would manually go around the store, check the on-hand quantity of each of these items available at the store, and he will note down all the quantity, after which he will come back to the Oracle screen and he will enter all the quantities over here. And once done, he will click on save, after which he will click on save, after which it would show complete. And then he would click on the print inventory usage report, where you would get this shop inventory usage report. And also a custom program, KK Physical Inventory Adjustments for all shops, is scheduled in prod at every Sunday 22:15, as in 10:15 p.m. And before this particular adjustment program is being run, the shops has to complete this task of entering the quantity in that physical inventory form and completing it. So once this is done, the adjustments are created in the system, and on Monday we can see that the on-hand quantity and the exact quantity at the shop would be the same. And I have a detailed document on this which I can go through as well. I'll also share this document which will have the step-by-step process and as well as what we do. Overall, whatever I have explained you, it will be over here, but little bit on a detail. Shops count inventory weekly. Preparation of the physical count is completed by the custom program which I showed you, and the program name Snapshot and Generate Tags run on Saturday morning 2 a.m. The manager inputs the count before 10 p.m. on Sunday night, because at 10:15 p.m. we have the adjustment program running up. So before that, the manager has to count in all the quantities, post which it will be posted to the inventory, so there will be no corrections made. So before 10 p.m. the manager has to complete this task. So what the manager would do is, once the physical inventory gets created in the system, once he goes through that custom form, he can see something like this without the quantity, usage and amount filled for the current week. So first step is for the manager to print tag listing by clicking this button, and it would generate a report which he would take a print, and he would check all the quantities which is available at the store, and he would start entering in the Oracle screen, and then he enters the result in the Oracle screen. Also, the physical count form, this particular form has many other features. For example, if you go on to the details, it would show the receipt and the transfers. And in case if there is no quantity, it should not be left blank, but it has to be the manager has to enter it as 0 quantity. And for all these items which is getting displayed over here, he should not be leaving it blank. In case if there is some item which was left out, or if he doesn't enter, he can just click on this unentered button and it would display all the items for which he hasn't entered the quantity. So in case if there is no usage on, if there is no on-hand quantity for this particular item at the shop now, he will just have to enter 0. So once all the lines are done, it would show complete. Even if a single line, as in for a single item, the quantity was not entered, it would show incomplete. And in case if there is a new item that needs to be added, all that the manager has to do is click on this add items and enter the item details, and he would enter the quantity. And there will be few specific items where the usage would be more. For that, he can just click on this high usage greater than 3000, and it would display all of those items which are highly being used. And tag listing is to match the desired count sequence. So he can just enter the items in the order whichever he wants. In case if he skips a sequence, it means you can add an item at a later point. For example, he is entering with 040, and next item if he enters with 042, maybe at a future time he can also enter an item with 041. So that is being taken care of here. And they also have an option to see the valuable items. This is useful because there will be few items which should be counted every week, so they will be marked as valuable, and it would come in the tag listing that must be counted every week. So once all this is done, he would have to click on the print usage, which will show the shop inventory usage report. And that's it. This is the weekly process which they follow at the shop.
Dice, no sé qué preguntar. ¿Puedo preguntar qué trae puesto?
Mark and Laura, do you have anything to add up other than this?
No, you're doing a good job.
Nope, that's it.
So all this have to be completed before 10 p.m. and I think we do have KK Physical Inventory for Shops program which runs at regular intervals, and I think the manager would get a notification, or the Oracle team would get, where we'll be notified like this particular shop did not enter their physical count till date. I think it runs like 3 hours once, or which I'm not sure. Maybe I can let you know later.
Yeah, it just runs several times a day, starting
Yeah,
Saturday afternoon, and it lets us know. I think it runs about every 3 or 4 hours, and it lets management know who hasn't done theirs yet, so they can start making calls, and stuff like that.
Right.
Mark, isn't there one shop that does their count on a Friday or something?
Yeah, there is one. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Which one? But this process is pretty stable. Every once in a while, the physical inventories won't get created for one or more shops, but it's pretty stable. And we know it. It's been around a while. Hasn't changed very much.
Yep. There was only one enhancement request that came up in from the time we took up the support, but that was
Oh,
also
yeah.
on hold till date to
Yeah.
add the secondary
user
UM
management.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
So yeah, so that's the only request that came on this form. Other than that, this is one staple thing where we don't have any issues. But one factor to be considered is in case if there is any weekly maintenance that is going on, or somewhere the program needs to be rescheduled. So that time we have to check on these programs. KK physical inventory count, generate tag and snapshot program. This has to be considered, and as well as the physical inventory adjustments, because this cannot be done at any time of the week. So that is one thing which we need to consider from the support perspective. Other than that, this is quite a staple one. Any questions?
This screen creates accounting
Um,
when
so-
you saved create
No.
accounting. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, it would generate a transaction, but Create Accounting is run on a schedule once a day, I guess.
every day,
So
every
these-
day midnight.
These transactions would get processed by Create Accounting, but the programs are not linked together. It's a separate program for Create Accounting. But
Okay.
Create Accounting will pick up these inventory adjustments, yes.
Yeah, all the physical inventory adjustments will be picked by the OPM Create Accounting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fer, ¿tú tienes alguna duda respecto a lo de la pantalla de inventario físico?
No, Rosy, no, ya lo había visto, ya estábamos viendo esa parte, ¿sí? Con la gente de México. Sí, no, Rosy.
Okay. No more questions so far, Divya. Thanks. Go ahead.
So other than this, all we have is small, as in other things which we have is item creation, which usually Marks take care of it, and right from the time we taken up this support, I think only once when Mark went on vacation, myself and Laura, we created an item. So other than that, usually it doesn't come to the support, but I'll just explain you how the item creation happens over here. So I think usually Mark would get a new item request form that would be filled with all the details, like which category it has to be, what would be the weight, and he would get even the account codes from I think AP team Mark.
Purchasing team usually prepares the item request forms.
Okay.
Procurement.
So, okay. Yeah. So once that form comes in, and Mark would go and create this item with all the item number, description, long description under the master organization, which is Krispy Kreme Master.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my screen is not moving. Will be in active status, and we'll have to select a template for this particular item, and it would either fall under mix, I think mostly under mix FG, right, Mark?
This one would be, yeah, Mix FG, yes.
And the primary UM, HTS number, country of origin.
Yeah, it's important to get the primary unit of measure right before you save, because once you save it, you can't change it. You kind of have to delete the item and start over.
Right. Also, we have to see In case if there's a different UM, we'll have to see the conversions, right, Mark?
Yeah, if it's a dual unit of measure, it's set up a little differently. But yes, you would once you created the item, then you have to go in and add the conversion, which I think the Mexico team's well versed in conversions. They probably do more than we do.
So, and one main thing is the default buyer has to be set over here in the item, and as well as these flags, whether it is purchased, purchasable, all these flags have to be set up properly.
Right. Yeah,
that is
we
a key
use
factor.
templates.
In case if something is not working, we'll have to go and verify these flags.
Yeah, we use templates to set up items, so there's not a whole lot of attributes that we have to manually touch as long as we use the correct template.
And the list price comes in through the price list upload program, Mark, or
No, that comes right off the new item order form.
oh, okay.
Procurement provides that.
Whatever the procurement team gives.
Yeah.
And all of these things, and purchase lead time days, and this is actually important because you would get the need by time in the requisition based on this.
Yeah. The
There is a
processing.
customization that is made which would capture the profile option POR lead by times, and as well as what is set up at the lead times attributes of item master for that particular item.
The KKM processing lead time, that 10 right there
Yeah.
is,
So based on which the need by date at the requisition side, when we create an order, when we do a checkout, you can see the need by time that is getting changed even from iProc. All behaves with this logic. And the items would be set up with this particular category, whichever they have requested. And mostly this would be taken care by Mark, and only in Mark's absence, I think Laura would be doing it. Other than this, once an item gets created, sorry, Mark?
there's another person in the company that knows a little bit about it, Deanne.
Mhm.
Deanna Harrison.
Oh,
I've been
okay.
training her for several months.
Oh, okay. And once it is created in KKM Mark, it would be assigned to the costing organizations and the other organizations like MXT, Bakemark, Cisco, and Sigma.
Correct. Yeah,
But
it just
for-
depends on the nature of the item.
Right. And for each and every other organization, maybe the category would get changed. For example, KKM, we would have given only this particular category set, but for Bakemark, we have additional category set, KK planning and KK
Yeah.
physical classifications.
Yeah.
And there could be at times from the create accounting perspective where we would have to go and check the category assignment to which this particular item belongs.
Mhm.
So this is all from the support perspective, like whenever issue comes, what are the main factors which we need to go and check from the item master level. And the sales account, it comes in when we create an AR invoice. So this thing we'll have to check.
Yeah, I set those up when I set the item up.
So at the invoicing tab, whichever is set up over here, I think mostly it is used during the creation of an AR invoice, I believe. And item cost, again, will be set up by Mark.
Yes. Yeah, a new item is automatically set to inactive until you enter a cost. And once you enter a cost, it will unlock it and set it to active. That's through GRC. Does that.
Yeah. And also the particular item will be added to the price list.
Yeah, I'll
The
do
next
that as
price
well.
list.
Mhm.
Yeah. And also in the internal order price list based on the usage of that item.
Yeah, there's three main price lists for company stores. Internal is for our company stores. MXD are for franchisees. And ADS is for Awesome Donut.
And we do run the cost update program. But for a new item, you can run this anytime mark cost update, because in recent times I'm hearing that it has to be run only during the month in time.
Yeah, we used to run it immediately as soon as we set up a new cost, but I guess close to a year ago, they said that revaluation was not taking place correctly, and Arvin told us we're only supposed to do that cost update once per period. So now we only do it at the end of the period.
Yeah.
Well, we do it at the for the new period. We do it as soon as we copy costs. We run cost update.
Yeah.
I don't like that because any items that are set up during the month, those new costs do not register until the end of that particular period. So I don't know. That's something we have to work on. That process.
Yeah, I think that was Oracle's suggestion to run the cost update at the period end time. But this is what we usually follow when we create a new item.
Yeah. For years, we ran it all the time, and there was not a problem. So I don't know what changed.
Right. Okay. So, any questions on this? And also, once this get assigned to the key organizations, we will not go manually and assign to all of the shop orgs, but instead we will have a custom program KKINVINT co-store org item assignment, where we would give the item number and assign corp orgs, whether only shop organization should be assigned or all the orgs. So once we give this parameter, in case if it is yes, what would happen is this item would be assigned to all the organizations, but if it is no, only the shop organizations will be assigned this item.
Yeah, we don't use the corp orgs anymore,
Yeah.
so we always run no.
Yeah. So I think that's it, and depends on whether this item should be added to the iStore product section under which leaf.
Yep.
They go ahead and add it under that particular leaf. I think this is all about item creation and the corresponding steps. Any questions?
Give me a moment, Livia. Pero tú tienes dudas acerca de estos, el alta, la asignación del costo, las plantillas.
¿No? Es como las zonas en México, en este caso es muy similar,
Yes.
nada más que ahí creo que tienen un concurrente para asignar las organizaciones, ¿no? En el corporativo no lo asignan, ¿no?
Ajá. Yeah. No, Livia, the process is still similar than Mexico.
Okay.
No questions so far. Yes.
Thank you, Rosie. Okay.
Rosie, who does the item setup in Mexico?
Please repeat me, Laura. I don't understand very well.
I said, who does the item setup in Mexico?
Fernando is here, and I.
Okay.
Yes.
and just give you a overall this thing about another custom program. Sorry, can we proceed to this?
No, TV. Go ahead.
Sorry guys, that's my internet connection. I'm sorry. Rosie, I think Laura was asking you who does the item setup. Perdón, ¿quién hace de item setup?
Sí, le comenté a Laura que Fer y yo podemos dar de alta.
Ya perdí mi internet, una disculpa.
No te preocupes, no te preocupes, Esther. Muchas gracias. Go ahead, Divya. Thanks.
And one other program at the inventory side is KKINV Anti-Cost or org item update. This is mainly to update the categories. So once you update the CST org level, what would happen is you run this program and all the other organizations will have the same category. So that is why this program is being used. So this is the costing org, CST at the KKUS side, and what we do is we go to tools, category, assignment, and we fill in all the category sets and the corresponding category in which this particular item has to be, and we need not go to each and every org and do this category update. So all we have to do is run this post-org item update program from KK Inventory Master Administrator, and it would get updated across all the organizations. This is the one. I think these are the key programs when we consider inventory process. Is there anything else, Mark? We missed out.
No, for round items, that's it.
And moving on to the next one, KKP Workers Dropship program. If everyone is fine with this inventory process. So as we discussed during our first session when I was explaining you the franchisee order process, we have a custom program which is KKP Workers Dropship program, and once the franchisee user places an order, it would come into the system in entered status, and CSR would go review the order and he would book the sales order. And once it is booked, and as the workflow background process runs and change the status to awaiting shipping, what would happen is our custom X6KK Workers Dropship program sales would pick up all the sales orders, and it would create purchase requisition and the blanket release from that sales order. And it is scheduled to run every 15 minutes. So here the main issue what we could encounter from support perspective is every quarter when there is creation of blankets, all we have to do is check whether approved supplier list is proper and the sourcing rule, and also there are few suppliers which has to be present in few of the custom lookups. So if you go through the underlying code of this particular package, there is one single package which has the complete code, so we can get to know. And it would pick all the correct sales orders, and it would internally trigger the requisition import, PO output for communication and create releases. I think only requisition import and create releases. And maybe I do have a pseudo code but it is purely for technical people. If you want me to go through the pseudocode which I have for myself, I can, or else if
Cierto.
technical team can go through if I give the package name, that is as well fine. This is my personal copy on how the custom chip program would behave, and this is the package. Since this is a main program, I'm just going through the pseudocode, or else technical team can go through this package. I can give you the package name.
Laura Farves.
So what would happen is at times there will not be releases that is getting created for some shops. Maybe we have to be cautious about this if the item is new or if the supplier is new, and in every quarter whenever they have a new blanket, if the naming convention is right, because sometime back, maybe around 6 months back or sometime, there was a change in Sigma site from SYG to they changed it with underscore ACH or something. Isn't it, Mark? Lara? That's when we face that issue. So we have few custom lookups which we'll have to check, because inside the code there are little bit of hard codings which is done for the suppliers, basically for Sigma, Bakemark and TPB. So the code works accordingly, and it would go and check whether that particular supplier is part of KK sourcing rule supplier or not, and based on different conditions and the ship to organization. Mainly the program works based on the supplier and the ship to organization in which it is going to get shipped. So if it is Crispy K Canada INC, it is purely customized. So there are like 4 or 5 lookups based on which it would behave. In case if it is not present in the lookup, it would throw an exception that vendor site does not exist in this particular lookup. So this has to be maintained once they create a new supplier or site. They will have to check on all of those things in case if it is going to be used by this custom ship program. And once it is all done, it would update the PO requisition interface table, and for all the valid records, we would trigger the requisition import program. After which the requisition and the corresponding release will get created. Anything to add up, Laura or Mark?
Yeah, you only have to change those lookup tables if the site name changes for our 3PLs.
Órale, la
And
Laura
I don't know how this is going to go when we convert Bakemark over, but Laura, we'll be continuing to send to that same just one Bakemark site, and that one Bakemark site, and they will disseminate it amongst their warehouses themselves internally, right?
Yeah. I
So
mean,
we shouldn't have to-
shouldn't have to touch that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's good.
So if at all problem arises, it would be only there are like 4 or 5 checks which we'll have to do. One is ASL sourcing rules and the supplier site name and the lookups.
Yeah, if that thing breaks, we'll all be jumping in to fix it. 'Cause it'll be a 911 emergency.
Right. So this is all it. Is there any doubts or questions?
Livia, do you share with us documents, technical documents, right? And functional documents?
A document for this, I'm not finding any MD50 or MD70, Rosie, but I do have my personal document which I have for quick debugging purpose, like a pseudocode. If you want, I can share that. But this process is already part of this particular document which I shared with you already in the franchisee sales order. You have all the program details and when it is scheduled. Maybe the technical team can go in and get the package.
Okay.
This is already part of the process document which we have shared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a moment, Arthur.
Sí, dime.
Sí, escuchaste.
Sí,
Y si entendí bien, Oscar, lo que dijo es que solamente tiene esta documentación y tendrías que extraer la documentación. Bueno, los paquetes.
Exactamente.
Sí, ¿verdad? Ok.
sí, esa parte. O sea, sí sería necesario ver qué tanta documentación tienen, porque
Ahorita lo que me llamó la atención es por la parte técnica que mostró, entonces, por eso le preguntaba si había documentación técnica. Solo tienen esta y dice que la documentación o los paquetes los tendríamos que extraer nosotros o pedirlos con Inesh tal vez.
Yeah, Rosie, if you see the same document under procurement steps, we also have the underlying setups like blanket creation and ASL, approved supply list, and similarly for Bakemark. So I think mostly this is it. Only the sourcing
¿Quién
rule
se habrá
is extra,
escrito en
which
el horario
they have to go
laboral?
and check.
Ok.
Porque ahorita que estaba con Yamil,
So this
¿Sí?
document actually
Creo que sí le dijo,
starting
pero
from
no
item
escuché
creation, procurement of company store, franchisee,
escuché quién fue.
physical counting, almost everything is in this particular document itself. Only FSV and EDA 850 was not there, which I have shared in the other document.
Ok, no problem. Thanks, Vivi. Go ahead.
Any questions on this?
well, just to know if for every custom object that we need to use, who will be the responsible person to pass to us all the last version of all of these objects? Dinesh, maybe? Livia?
Through about I'm not sure, maybe Tia should be the right person, as in regarding all the custom programs, everything it is over this document, but how to access it, and usually when a work order comes and when there is an issue, that's when we would open the package and check where exactly the changes, and it is all present in the database. So
yeah, I mean, because I want to know, I would like to know if in all of these sessions will be exist a session to talk about only for custom details, custom objects details, maybe for Java and SQL details, or I don't know how if there will in the schedule exists a session to talk only for Java details for all the custom screens, because we are yesterday we were reviewing or checking the details of these Java screens, and we have some questions and specific Java or technical questions. So I don't know with who we can with who was responsible to give us uh, all these details of custom objects.
Whatever is covered in the KT, in case if you have any doubts, you can let me know. But if there is any other custom object which you have a doubt about, I think you can shoot out an email to Tia. Maybe internally she will touch base with Oracle team and me, which I'm not sure. But if you have doubts on any other object, maybe you can just shoot out an email to.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. But anything related to all the custom chemicals, whatever we are discussing over here, if you have a doubt, feel free to drop an email to me, or you can ask it in the session.
I don't like to do that in the session because the question or the doubts is really technical information. So maybe I can start with an email and go ahead with that. So, yeah, thank you.
Mark, anything to add up on the inventory process and cust dropship program, Mark?
No, I don't. It's just a bunch of programs that run, and they usually run fine. Every once in a while, you might have to intervene.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Laura dropped.
yeah, I think so. I think the session is over, and you can drop any email related to any of these custom objects which we are discussing, team. Thank you.
So was that session 4 and 5 we're done with?
Yes, Mark.
Okay.
4 and 5, right?
Yeah, I wasn't following the agenda. I was just watching your screen. Okay.
Yeah, 4 and 5,
Yep.
which is inventory process and dropship.
Okay.
Yes.
I won't be on the calls tomorrow. I'm taking a vacation day tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow it is mostly driven by Sandeep, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, tomorrow you will not be there, or even
No,
day after tomorrow?
I'm off tomorrow. I'm taking vacation day tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So in that case, for mixed serialization, can I ask
Yo
Shiva
le
to
digo eso a
drive
mi
it,
jefe y me
Mark,
manda
because
por
it is
un
mostly on
Yeah,
the
you
palette
can.
related.
con él. Que lo que está diciendo que
Okay.
mañana no va a estar porque va a estar de vacaciones. Y yo le digo eso a mi jefe y me manda por un.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody
Thank
have a
you
great
all.
day.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Bye.
Es que allá sí respetan.
Sí, terminar. Acá todavía sigue el directo. Yo le digo eso a mi jefe y me dice, no mames, no.
Sí, güey, son los clientes. Ya está flojera.
Más para hoy, o sea,
Los voy a revisar. Si no, ya. Me va a dar.